The Green Tom Show.
I want to go back to the 90s. You were fearless back in those days. What was the most outrageous prank or stunt?
The first big one was when we painted the house, and you know, the show wasn't on MTV yet. So we were just scrounging together money to get paint and do all this stuff. But you know, the initial ones were waking them up in the middle of the night with sort of filling the house with farm animals.
It was all about shock comedy in The Tom Green Show, which premiered in 1994. Fans tuned in to see the then 23-year-old sing ridiculous songs
plastic bag, plastic bag.
and hit the streets to surprise unexpected bystanders, although his main and favorite targets were his mom and dad.
My parents were sort of good sports about it. Even though they got mad, they did get mad, but then they always sort of had a funny line, funny kind of sort of reaction, and I think that was kind of what made the show work in a lot of ways, was their reaction.
The maddest they ever got at you was when?
I think probably one of them was when I painted the car. I don't even really feel comfortable saying what it was called. We used to talk about it. I went on Oprah and we played that clip and talked about it, which was also a really weird moment when the show was first picked up by MTV, and then, you know, my parents were starting to see that these pranks were kind of amounting to something, and then Oprah invited us on.
Tom Green has been pulling pranks on his own parents since his days on radio.
Is that your I made it, mama, I made it moment?
It might have been the moment that they kind of forgave me for some of the pranks.
My bum is on the rail. Bum is on the rail.
Did you think I want to be famous, or did you just think I want to be funny?
You know, I definitely tried to be funny, for sure.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, you know, I was in a goofball in school and always kind of, we moved around a lot. I was in the military family in Canada, and so I was always kind of trying to sort of get attention that way, and that sort of led to being the way I kind of developed my personality, was through comedy. So I started doing stand-up and then went to school for broadcasting and started making the show.
Here at ET, we have been with you since the early days, since the very beginning.
Absolutely.
And I think we have your earliest Entertainment Tonight interview.
Wow, okay.
From back in 1999.
I think people like to see themselves and real people on television. I'm always interacting with real people on the street, and it's kind of a fun thing to watch, not just me going out and being a goof, but actually seeing other people get confused or surprised by the goof. So I think people like to watch that. I have a beard. I have a beard right now. I grew a beard for the interview. I grew a beard for Entertainment Tonight.
Wow, okay, wow.
Still makes me crack up laughing. It does. What do you think about that kid right there when you watch that?
It's amazing. I mean, that's probably right after I first moved to Los Angeles, when the show was on MTV. And it's a strange thing looking back at, you know, at everything.
Do you have a favorite fan encounter?
You know, when I had cancer, we filmed that and put it on MTV, and now at my stand-up shows, I often, like quite regularly, get you know, somebody in their 40s, a guy will come up and he'll sort of say he went to the hospital because he saw the cancer special.
There's a small chance that you might receive a blood transfusion.
I thought you were going to say something else.
I didn't want that all over Entertainment Tonight, you know? Tom Green can't.
In 2000, the then 28-year-old was diagnosed with testicular cancer. His treatment included surgery to remove a testicle and lymph nodes.
You definitely think about all sorts of, you know, bigger things like dying and all this stuff when you get cancer.
There was definitely a week or so before we decided to film it that I, you know, didn't consider being very private about it. But you know, that's actually why the Tom Green Show went off the air. People don't really always know or remember what happened, but the show stopped when I got cancer, and it was sort of had to spend about a year recovering from that. But you know, a lot went into that decision. It's kind of not a simple thing to answer, but we had just moved our whole show to Los Angeles. A lot of people on the crew had given up their apartments and uprooted their lives, and all of a sudden the show was stopping. So that kind of kept the show going for another few months to shoot that special. Then, of course, the idea of it spreading awareness sort of quickly became something that seemed like a good idea.
In 2003, the show was briefly revived with a late-night format. Tom also went on to star in films including Road Trip, Charlie's Angels, and Freddie Got Fingered.
pretty much every day somebody comes up to me and says, "Daddy, would you like some sausage?"
Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages?
It was a different time. Like when the movie came out, it was shocking and weird, and you got some harsh reviews, which was sort of somewhat devastating, honestly.
Yeah.
I was directed the movie and had written it with my friend, so we were kind of, thinking this was going to be our big, we're going to make movies.
Your Spielberg moment.
Yeah. Nope. It's found its audience.
Why do you think it became such a cult classic?
I think it's just kind of so silly.
And of course, you did the movie with Drew.
Mm-hmm.
When you look back on that, do you have regrets about that relationship, or is that also a life lesson that you take with you?
That was a long time ago. It was
Yeah.
20 years ago or more. I try not to have regrets about anything in life because, you learn from everything. I have an amazing fiance now, and I'm so excited about getting married to Amanda, and so, no, it's, I think if anything, like I even said, cancer, it's like that makes you who you are. So try not to have regrets, but it was, I did Drew's show recently. I was happy to go support that and be on there. It's nice to see you every day on here, just bringing this burst of happiness and energy and optimism to the world right now.
That 2020 reunion marked the first time the exes had seen or spoken to each other in more than 15 years.
Do you think maybe you guys could work together again?
I'm living out on the farm now.
Yeah.
I'm riding my mule. So we'll probably just keep doing that.
The 53-year-old moved back to Canada, where he now lives on a 150-acre farm with dog Charlie and fiancée Amanda. Fans can get a glimpse at Farmer Tom and Tom Green Country, now streaming on Prime Video.
I'm not in Los Angeles anymore.
It's a very calming thing to be able to go ride a mule off into the Canadian wilderness. It really gets your mind off things. So it's been awesome. I feel like I get to show part of Canada that maybe Americans don't know about.
On top of the reality series, he also has This Is the Tom Green documentary and a stand-up special, I Got a Mule, both on Prime Video. He's also been on the road for his comedy tour.
This is what I look like now.
What's still on that career bucket list that you want to do? Do you think in terms of that?
Well, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing now, which is making this new show. I produced this show and directed this show, so it's kind of very exciting.
How does it feel now? You're stepping back into the public eye.
It's been an amazing few years. When the pandemic happened, everything got sort of, turned upside down in our world. It's been a really amazing thing, especially, I've got Charlie, and now I'm engaged.
Now, your fiancée Amanda is here today, hanging with you. And how did you guys meet?
It turns out we went to the same elementary school, Amanda and I. We both are from Canadian military families, and we lived in this small northern Canadian town called Petawawa. And we went to Pinecrest Elementary School, and we just started talking about that. It seemed like a kind of a real sort of amazing synchronicity there.
When's the wedding?
Well, I don't even know if Amanda heard you say that because she said it so softly. That was good.
I tried to just, me and you.
Possibly could be sooner rather than later.
I love that.
Yeah, we'll let you know first, okay? Absolutely.